Hello, today I am doing a Poppy Playtime chapter for Theory. The reason I am is because a couple days ago Mob Entertainment released this video and it recapped what happened, but in the video there was a few frames with this secret code. And when you put it into a code decipher it says this, and there's a lot of things it could be. For example, Huggy Wuggy, since he fell, and if he survived he would have bated breath, plus he has felted feet, but it can't be him because of the sleep part, so does that mean it's catnap? Well, it can't be catnap because you can't breathe when this happens to you. However, catnap is a smiling critter but doesn't have felted feet either, but the other smiling critters seem to have different feet materials, so they could have felted feet, and also it is implied that every smiling critter can breathe sleeping gas.
And like the others of his line, you just pull his little tail and seems innocent enough.
That means this could be a smiling critter, but catnap kills all the non-believers of the prototype according to Dog Day, but that means that if it is a smiling critter, they must have survived catnap's attacks. But Dog Day said he was the last of the smiling critters.
The prototype is his god, and this is what he does to heretics. These little toys follow catnap to avoid that very fate. And in return, they are fed. We try to fight it, the prototype's control. I am the last of the smiling critters.
So it can't be a smiling critter since Dog Day was the last, right? Well, the next part of this video will be more speculation than theory. We know catnap is a smiling critter, so maybe he meant the last of the good smiling critters, meaning the next smiling critter is evil. So that is an option, but if you want to argue that catnap was removed from the smiling critters so Dog Day no longer counts him as a smiling critter, then option 2 is that after catnap was removed, something happened which forced Playtime Co. to remove the smiling critter too, and the opening of Poppy Chapter 4 will be a news broadcast on why they got removed. But you might be wondering why they didn't remove them from everything like they did with catnap. Well, this could have been a day before the Hour of Joy, so they didn't have much time to remove everything. For example, the catnap cutout is in a staff-only place that children wouldn't be allowed into, but the critters cutout isn't removed. Since moving, they would have more important things to remove or do before removing the cutout, which is why the cutout was still there in the area where kids could access. However, there's no evidence for those two, so that's a fault in the theory, but they're still possible, and the theory is still possible. That means that the other smiling critter who survived turned evil, and guess who said they ate food relating to smiling critters?
Delicious! Grilled chicken down the hatch!
To add to that, every smiling critter screams at the end of the cardboard cutout except for Picky Piggy. We only see Dog Day's cutout after the critters crawl inside and oof him, then he screams in his cutout, so we can assume everyone who screamed in their cutout died. Catnap also didn't scream, and we see his cutout twice, but the first one is long before he dies, and the second one is after he dies. This is the second fault in the theory, but here's a speculation part again. The death messages have multiple people talking, but when our player dies, someone tells the player to get up and finish the mission, and that person talking might be a ghost of one of our player's co-workers. That's because they would have oofed in the Hour of Joy, and they can talk to us after we died, so if ghosts are real, then maybe the children who got turned into the smiling critters during the Bigger Bodies initiative are ghosts now. So the children can change their cutouts messages slightly, which is why they get darker towards the end, meaning other ghosts can also change them, so that means someone could change catnaps. So a ghost changed catnaps is option 1, and since we already heard it, the ghost could no longer tamper with it, but option 2 is that the speaker for catnaps broke, so catnap did scream after we oofed him, but it just came out muffled. You might be wondering why Picky Piggy would eat her friends. It's confirmed by now. I'm pretty sure that the reason the toys started the Hour of Joy was because the prototype got all of them to rebel because they wanted freedom. However, once they killed all the workers, the prototype knew they wouldn't be allowed in public, so it didn't help them escape, and they were still trapped, but he didn't tell them, and since they couldn't leave, they started to starve. Catnap still believed the prototype was his god, so he kept worshipping him and coping. And since one of Picky Piggy's main character traits is liking food and is starving since they aren't getting fed, so it was easy for the prototype and Catnap to convince Picky Piggy to join them and get food. And since Catnap is now unalive, the prototype needs to send someone else after us and Piggy is alive still. But that's just a theory and we'll have to wait to see if I am correct. Thanks for watching, bye bye.